This week, President Barack Obama took unilateral action to provide delays in immigration proceedings, which could result in deportation of up to 5 million immigrants who are in our nation illegally. Republicans are up in arms. Some conservatives are calling for impeachment of the president. Some liberals are complaining the president did not go far enough. The stage has been set for a very rocky and tumultuous final 2 years of the president's administration. Legal immigration is of no issue, except legal immigration is too costly and should be revamped. Legal immigration wait times are beyond the pale to obtain legal residence, citizenship, and need to be revamped. Except for legitimate political refugees, we must find a way to both keep our borders open and secure the borders from those who refuse to play by the rules. Xenophobia is a sickness, not an acceptable way of life. We must find the middle ground between being proud Americans and accepting neighbors. When many people's great-grandparents, grandparents, and millions of others crossed both ponds, one of the primary goals was making sure the children, if not themselves, learned English as quickly as possible. There was an intense desire to renounce allegiance to the old country and pledge firm solidarity with the land of promise. Those days are gone. In some areas, raising and flying the flag of the former country takes prominence over that of the American flag. This used not to be. In some areas, parents refuse to allow their children to learn English and insist on education in the former country, in the home country language, rather than the predominant language of their new homeland. This all adds to the issue and problem, especially in the border states, and with many rural Americans unexposed, unlike their urban neighbors, to immigrants, legal and illegal. Then there is the issue of how to secure our borders and keep our borders open. We have long prided ourselves on not having troops amassed along either our border with Mexico or with that of Canada. Immigration is an interesting subject matter with no one-size-fits-all or easy fix. I don't have the answers which will provide the cure for a broken immigration system. I do know to do nothing is the wrong move. From my studying and research, the president skirted along the edge of the law without crossing over into impeachable territory. However, the president has made working with Congress between now and 2016 almost impossible. In his speech and subsequent order, the president was very careful in choosing his words. He walked right up to the edge, but did not move into territory outside of his domain. Claiming a national security issue, the president kept his action within his wheelhouse. Barely. The president, from where I sit in the cornfield, may have acted within the scope of his authority, but the president acted foolishly and irresponsibly. Per the Constitution, immigration falls under the direct authority of the Congress, not the executive branch. Yes, the executive branch administers the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. However, it is Congress that determines the laws and requires the executive branch to fully enforce the will of Congress. With all of the criticism of the mainstream media, it should be noted that none of the four major networks aired the president's speech on immigration. All four, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox, refused to preempt regular programming and give the president a stage from which to perform. From the cornfield, while immigration reform is sorely needed, it is not up to the president to take unilateral action on the issue. Congress, Republican lawmakers, must stop its dawdling and stonewalling on immigration. The next Congress must fix what is broken. The message from voters during the last election: find some way to work together, Mr. President and members of Congress. You may have heard both those voting and those not voting, but are any of you listening?